Okay, we're right there. Wonderful, good. Happy Friday in the fantastic City Hall of Revere. Mayor, thank you so much for hosting us in your city, your hometown, your building to celebrate Valentine's Day and the idea of a heart and giving a heart. That is coming up very soon, so recognize that. And the idea of the heart means many things. For us, it means life. For us, it means hope. For us, that means opportunity. My name is Matt Boger. I am proud to represent New England Donor Services. We are the federally designated organ procurement organization each and every day helping save and enhance lives through what I call the miracle of organ donation. We are very pleased to work with every state in New England through the DMV, RMV, or BMV, through the Department of Public Health, through the governor, through the legislature, and each community, encouraging people to consider getting the heart on your driver's license and saying yes to organ donation. I want to make sure it is clear that people know that organ donation is very, very rare. It does not happen often. In fact, you're more likely to need a transplant than to become an organ donor. And additionally, I will say that we are very proud to be the only public health question on a state document that's seen by basically everyone in the state. Everyone wants a driver's license, ID, or real ID. We have that opportunity to say, would you like to register as an organ donor? And we encourage people to do that. I do want to real quickly say thank you to the state, both the RMV, who's got a great branch here in Revere. It's very positive staff, and also the Department of Public Health. I will just say, and this, sir, wonderfully good-looking man here, right here, we have mass.gov/organ donor, mass.gov/organ donor. 98% of all people in Massachusetts who register as an organ donor do so when they go to the RMV, which is a great place to be. Some people think it may be a little bit of a time suck. I think it's a wonderful place to be. You can also go online to the state website, mass.gov/organ donor, to register as an organ donor. We'll go over some facts and data, and more importantly, hear from individuals who've been personally touched by organ donation. But Mayor, thank you so much for hosting us. I do want to recognize State Representative Jessica right here, who's going to say a few words. And Angela, thank you so much for your wonderful work in the City Council representing this great community. And Mayor, thank you so much for hosting this wonderful event. It's great.
Thank you, Matt. And I also wanted to recognize School Committee woman Jacqueline Monterosso, who's joining us today. Thank you for being here. And some of our other city officials, thank you for being here this afternoon. Real important, just a quick story, and I know we're going to read a proclamation shortly, and I'll probably tell a little bit of a personal story, but we're on a campaign here, and we just finished up a campaign for the elections in Revere, and I was so, it was so unique that on my campaign team, I turned around one day and I said, hey, we were talking about organ donation and how important it is to certain people because a couple people in Revere were touched by it very specifically, and it really changed the course of their lives, able to live it out and live it happily. And I turned around and in my campaign office, one of my assistants, Colleen, gave a kidney to her husband, Rocco, and I said, wow. And she said, I gave my left kidney. And I said, well, I gave my left kidney to my mom. And then I turned around to the other side of me, and another wonderful young lady, Kerry, and I said, and Kerry said, I gave a kidney, Pat, because I called you about it when it came up, and to see what the procedure was like. And Kerry gave her kidney, a left kidney, to Mr. John Nucci. And I said, this is unbelievable. I think we might get struck by lightning because 3 people in one room, all from Revere, giving kidneys to significant others or loved ones or someone that they care deeply about to help save their lives. So as I mentioned, that was a campaign that we were talking about a few months back, and now we're on a new campaign for Revere because we recognize at the RMV and throughout going online, it's really that simple. You don't have to be a living donor, and you can check that box, and one day when you're past us, you can give back to your community, you can give back to your loved ones, you can alter someone's life. And that's a really easy task to do by just clicking that box and doing something completely selfless, and I would really appreciate it. We want to make sure that everyone has a chance, a second shot at life when they need those heart-saving transplants, those life-saving livers and kidneys and other organs that can help alter someone's life and give them a second chance. So I implore you, I encourage you, and to get out there, check the box. It's really that simple, and we're just here to raise that awareness today. So thank you. I'm going to talk a little bit about a story and a proclamation in just a bit, but I just wanted to start it off with that. So next up, we have an introduction. Matt was already here, but we have Representative Jessica Gino, who wanted to come and say hello.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I'm so excited to be here with you today. I have some brief remarks and then a few citations I'm going to present on behalf of the state of Massachusetts. This is such an important cause, and I think when we talk about organ donation, I think there's a lot of hesitation from the general public, and I think that's because there's a lot of misinformation around this topic. I know for my family personally, my great uncle had a very rare lung disease, and because of receiving a double lung transplant, he lived an extra 18 months, and that was 18 more months with our family, to meet grandchildren, to spend time with his children, and those are 18 months that he wouldn't have had if it wasn't for the gift that is organ donation. So that's one story. You're gonna hear many today that we're so, so grateful for. So as other speakers are gonna mention, it's a simple task to check that box, to make that decision, to give that gift of life. That's something that is so precious. We have two very special citations on behalf of myself and Representative Jeff Turco, who couldn't be here with us today. The first, I'm going to bring Matt up. So on behalf of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to New England Donor Services in recognition of your efforts to educate the public about organ donation, as well as helping to save and enhance lives by encouraging others to register as organ donors. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for good fortune and continued success in all endeavors, given this 9th day of February at the Massachusetts State House, signed by Speaker of the House Ron Mariano, and offered by myself and Rep. Turco from Revere. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you.
And is RMD here?
We are not. No.
Awesome. We also have a citation for the Registry of Motor Vehicles for their part. We're so lucky to have a branch in Revere for all the work that they do here in the city. And for our Revere residents that aren't already organ donors, it's easy. Next time you renew your license, check the box, stop at our local registry. It's easy to do. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Representative, thank you so much. And again, sure, great. Awesome, thank you so much. Oh, Mayor, you want to jump in here too? All right, great. Outstanding. It's like a wedding here. This is good. Oh, there you go. Awesome, good. Representative, thank you so much. Again, our relationship with the legislature is wonderful, and the shared responsibility of educating the general public regarding organ donation is huge. As I think I might have said, organ donation is a voluntary choice, but not a neutral choice. Both the federal and state government provide this great opportunity, and our effort is to help educate individuals and have people do the easy thing, which is just check the X box. As the mayor has said, and we'll say a little later on, being a living donor, which is the true heroes in the world, is a great task. A much easier task is just registering as an organ donor, getting that heart in your license. So really appreciate that. I do want to say that right now, currently, there is 103,000 individuals in the United States waiting for a life-saving transplant. In New England, there's over 6,000 individuals waiting for a life-saving transplant. These individuals are so sick that they need to get a replacement for a heart, liver, lung, pancreas, kidney, etc. I will say that the Boston area is among the best hospitals in the world to do this. That being said, there are not enough organs to go around, and sadly, 22 people die each day waiting for that gift. We don't want anyone to die. Our motto is donate life. Having someone die to save someone else's life is a zero-sum game. Sadly, people do pass away, and the idea that that individual can live on and their legacy can continue through the gift of an organ is an amazing one. Again, we are not utilizing organs of people, TV show ER, etc. These are great TV shows, and they tell mixed stories. These are soap operas, and it's about fun. But the real life aspects of any kind of concerns about organ donation do not happen. We want people to live as long as they can, and it's about life. I do want to recognize one of my great colleagues, Jim Rodrigue, who is one of the foremost researchers on organ donation. We're so happy to have him on our team, and again, assessing the data that we give and making sure that we can communicate with the public in appropriate ways. But now I do want to bring it to the, while we're really here, and these are the stories of people personally touched. Again, Wednesday is Valentine's Day. Make sure you get a heart for your loved one. And there are some great stories that show love in a more dramatic way by saving an individual's life. But I'm so pleased to introduce one of my colleagues. I can actually see you through here, right there. Kenny, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you to the City of Revere for having me today. My name is Kenny, and because of the someone putting a heart on their license and registering to be a donor, I am alive. I am proud to say that I'm alive because I received a heart transplant 23 years ago. So longevity of transplant is important. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. People may think a transplant's a temporary thing, a short fix, and that's not the case. 23 years of life because a person signed up to be a registered donor, have the heart on their license, and what a fitting way to celebrate this event today, the month of Valentine's Day, and it's just a pleasure to be here. And I also can say that I'm proud to be a colleague of Matt's and work at New England Donor Services. I'm able to pay it forward, help others get the transplants that they need, because I know what it's like to wait. So again, it's a pleasure to be here, and I thank you all for your time.
Kenny, thank you so much. And we've talked a long time, and I know your story can go on for 2 hours because you're a shy individual. I do want to add that Kenny was like, I hope I can get there, but my priority is getting my kid on the bus. And without the transplant, Kenny, you wouldn't be a father. So that gift gave life to you, but through you, other individuals. And that's part of the miracle of it. So thank you so much. Again, Valentine's Day is about the heart, and this heart really means a great deal to us. I am proud to introduce a Revere resident, Bob, who we've worked with for a long time. Bob, thank you for being here and sharing your story. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, City of Revere. I'm Bob Sawyer. I'm going to mix this up a bit. I can't tell my history in 2 minutes, so I'm going to focus on a moment in time and what it meant to me in finding out I was going to be receiving a heart transplant. Back in 2017, I was working from the hospital waiting for a heart transplant, and on a Friday, I got a phone call on my hospital line from my doctor, and he said, and I started busting his chops going, what, are you too cheap to visit me in your own hospital? And he said, no, I had a root canal, and I'm waiting for the Novocaine to wear off, and I can't come in. I'm like, oh, okay. And so then I said quickly, what's up? And he goes, we have a heart. And at that moment, even though I had been waiting 4 months and it was focused on getting a heart, it suddenly hit me as a recipient that I was going to get a new extension on life because somebody was a donor. And there was a myriad of emotions that I went through in that 12 hours. I had to, between the time I was told and the time they took me into the OR. But one of the things was, I paused on my laptop because I was in the middle of work, and I got emotional and I was crying and talking with the doctor. The nurse came in, consoled me, and I kind of sat there and realized that there was a person there behind that who had decided that it was appropriate and they wanted to help somebody else. And it's the greatest hero I never met. And so in that moment, even though all this time I've been focusing on just one organ, my heart, it connected from that point forward. It's always connected that it's a person behind there. A donor has saved my life and helped me. And it was so, the amount of gratitude I can't express in words. It's very hard to put in concrete terms to say what you're feeling at that time. But I can tell you that it really hit home for me in terms of what the donor meant for me as a recipient. And then in that moment and on that day, as I shifted over and started thinking about things, other people obviously became aware. I called my brother and sister. They too were extremely happy, and then they too also expressed the same thanks. Oh my God, there's a family there that's losing somebody, but they're helping me, and that's fantastic. And as I looked at it and I talked with people, I mean, as a project manager, it was funny. I had to send an email to 5 people, and I said the topic of the email was, "I got the call," and I sent it out just to 5 people. Wasn't going to blast it to the entire project team of however many people I was managing at that time. I think it was around 25 or 30, and I was hoping it was going to stay within that group, and then I wouldn't have to worry about things, but. As a project manager, when you send an email, you expect no replies and that you have to follow up and follow up and follow up. This was the one email that when I sent it, I got immediate replies and phone calls, more importantly, from conference calls, from team members, all excited at what was happening and all recognizing and appreciative that a donor had been found that could help me move forward. And so on this day, in terms of recognizing donors, I wanted to say that it's an easy checkbox, as everybody says, and I really do want everyone to consider when they go to the RMV or they're renewing their license to make that choice and help somebody out in their hour of greatest needs. And by being an organ donor, it is the best thing you can do to help somebody. You'll be their greatest hero. Thanks.
Thanks, Bob. Really appreciate that and the miracle of life. I like that phrase you said, I never got to meet my hero. We have a hero right here in City Hall, and the recipient is able to meet their hero, know their hero. Mayor, very excited to hear your story and the wonderful things you've done, A, as a great leader here, but B, being a hero and sharing your story. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Well, first I'll ask my mom to come up here with me. And I didn't have to check the box, although I did when I first got my license early on. Well, when I was a young boy, I checked the box. It was a really simple task. But knowing one of the reasons I checked it was growing up really early on, I understood that my mother was having early stage kidney failure. And I recognized that this was something that was a struggle for her, and I realized that it definitely impacted her life and how she was able to live in a certain quality of life that we expected or she expected. So that checking that box was very easy. And then when the time came that it was a decision that she was having to go on dialysis, I realized that that's not really a good way for someone to enjoy their life in their 40s.
When I was in stage 4.
In their 40s. And so I recognized that my sister, my brother, and I, we were all old enough to be able to make a decision that we wanted to get tested, and we were able to see who would be the best donor for her. And of course, I was the lucky one, and I really was. And granted, both my brother and my sister would have done it in a heartbeat too, but I was the most amicable match. So the decision was very easy for me. Even though going through a surgery, it's a little bit difficult as a young person. But so when you check that box and you're a non-living donor, it's even easier. But that was an easy decision for me. I was very happy because one of the reasons is I recognized the love that my mother gave me, and I wanted to make sure she was able to give that for many more years. So when I say that, she has been here. It's been 24 years, and she's had her days, but she's been able to pass that love not just to me, but to my children, and to, at some point, maybe even her great-grandchildren. So I'm so thankful that I was able to extend and help her, and I'm just asking you to check that box. It's really that simple. It's going to give people like my mother, my mother Lucille, Colleen, Rocco, and other members of our community, and Mr. Nucci, and other members of our community, give them the opportunity to live their life to when they're supposed to finish it up. And if you can do that, that would be helpful. So thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
For making me a donor.
Thank you.
I don't know if you had anything to share, but feel free to.
Patrick had seen me on dialysis. I was in stage 4 renal failure. I was only able to drink 8 ounces of water a day at that point because I would blow up and it's not good. So I was very tired because going to dialysis every other day, I never imagined how hard it was to have these big needles going in your arms. and sitting on this chair for 4 to 5 hours and watching other people passing out, and I'd be screaming for a nurse to help them. But anyways, my children got tested, and when he got the call, he came downstairs and he says, "Ma, you're gonna have the best Christmas ever." I says, "Why, Patrick?" He says, "I'm a match, you're getting my kidney." And I cried. I said, "No, I'm not supposed to take from my son, my children." He said, "You're getting a kidney." And he donated the kidney to me, and I'm just forever grateful. And I pray every day for all my children, and I'm thankful that I'm here because of my son Patrick. He did the ultimate sacrifice. He saved my life. And I want to thank him. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you.
Wow. Mom, your son did good.
Yeah, he did.
And then he donated, so I'm trying to do the math, and then he became mayor, and he looks like he's in fantastic shape. It is a wonderful testament of individual giving love, heart here to his mom, and living a healthy life and doing wonderful things. So my assumption is after you did it before you were mayor?
I was 20-plus years ago.
20 plus years ago. I mean, this story is, you know what? You know why we're here? We're about love. This is about love. I mean, having someone pass away, a loved one, is very painful. Having a mother who is in pain and need is painful, but the love that one can give is tremendous. So I am really blown away by that story. Mayor, you're amazing on many levels, and that's just one of them. And again, we're so proud to have the heart as our symbol. This community is a fantastic one, and the City Hall is even more so. As the mayor alluded to, there are several people who have given this wonderful gift of love to their loved ones. An individual who I've worked with for several years and is always a delight, Carrie, with her wonderful son. If you want to come in for just a few seconds to come, and sir, if you want to be here too, that would be great. Kids are the cutest.
First, let me say, Mayor, thank you for your leadership here. And if word gets out that if you donate a kidney, you become mayor, we will have no shortage of kidneys.
There you go.
My name is John Nucci, but the real star here is standing next to me. In 2018, I received a kidney from Kerry. And since that time, 4 little children have come into the world, my grandchildren, that I probably would not have seen had it not been for the donation that Kerry made to me. I can't tell you what it feels like. I've been public speaking for a long time, and I can do a pretty good job, except on this issue, because this issue is just so overwhelming to me that somebody would have the generosity and love to do what Kerry has done. And I mean that. We have to fight. We have to fight to make sure that others in our position don't have to wait. I know you have champions here in Revere, the mayor, obviously, for hosting this event and doing what he's done. State representative just done a great job as well. We can get it done, but we all are going to have to work together. We've got to advocate with state officials, city officials, federal officials, to make sure that donors get the protection they need, to make sure there's an incentive to donate an organ, not a disincentive, because there's so much love out there and there's so much caring out there. We've got to tap it, and we've got to make sure that they are available and that they are willing and able to donate. It's not easy, believe me. I wasn't sure I was going to get a donor before I had to go on dialysis. The reason I needed a kidney was because I have polycystic kidney disease, as do all 3 of my sons. And my wife was not a match. So you talk about coming to the rescue. That was Kerry. So thank you again, Mayor. Your leadership is going to be so key on this. And I'm so heartened to know that you're in the position you're in and can provide that. And I thank you for that. And Kerry, you want to say a word or two? I know you're not big on it, but you're more than happy to. The real star, Kerry.
Can you say hi? You have to bear with us, it's nap time. so we're a little sleepy.
Me too.
Yeah. I just want to thank Mayor Keefe and the city for putting on such a wonderful event. Any chance that we can get to raise awareness for organ donation, we are here all the time, especially in Revere. What I can tell you is that is just as much as John got, I got just as much in return.
Thank you very much, thank you.
Amazing. It is becoming clear that I am not needed here in Revere because there's so much knowledge, energy, support, very good speakers, and I appreciate that. It's sometimes when you bring attention to a cause that people take for granted. This is a great community. We are seeing that registration rates are decreasing in some areas, and we want to make sure that people realize that registering as an organ donor has no effect on your life and that can make a massive change. Again, here in City Hall at Revere, I don't know if that's part of the requirement to work here, that you have to be a living donor, maybe I won't say that, but it shows the amount of love and compassion that people have. And we're not done. There is also another story to be shared. Colleen and her very quiet husband are here to share a few words. Thank you so much.
I'll handle this.
Be right here.
Rocco.
Welcome to Revere.
Oh, here we go.
Before I give my testimony, what I went through with my wife for my kidney transplant, I would like to recognize Mr. Mayor, Patrick Keith. I'm no stranger to this council. A lot of people know who I am. For years and years and years being in Revere, this is the first time in my lifetime in Revere recognizing the situation that Patrick Keith put together. So on this dais, transplants, hearts, kidneys, it's incredible. Life is very important. When I found out that I was in severe trouble with my kidney problem, my wife made a point, sitting right in the office with the doctor, and she's going to donate a kidney. We were shocked. And being the fact we're being shocked now, it's been 1 year, and everything is working out fine for me, and my wife also. 2 minutes to me is kind of cut short, but I just want to recognize the fact where everybody here in the city of Revere put this man in place for 8 years and hopefully a lot more time. So I talk too much, like my wife said. Don Charamola was here, part of the administration, which Patrick Keith put together. And I have a happy life with my new kidney in the new administration. So all you people in Revere did the right thing for Mayor Patrick.
Supposed to talk
So
about
thank you.
organ donation. Supposed to talk about organ donation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I got off track. Organ donation. Here's what happened before. I am a survivor for 60-plus years. I lost my kidney 64 years ago. And I've survived all these years. And the most important ingredient that if I knew back then was water. Water is a major issue. If I can help anybody here now saying, water, water, water saves lives, and I'm part of that program. I saved my life because my wife gave me a new kidney, and I want to acknowledge her. Thank you.
Okay, just quickly, I want to say that I was registered on my license at 20 years old. So please, put it on your license. As far as donating, you have no idea how you feel donating, especially to my husband. As far as kidneys go, you have 2 kidneys. There is no reason God gave you 2. You only need 1. You feel great with just one. There's no reason that you need two kidneys. There are 122 people on the list for kidneys. 22 die a day. So think about it. It's an easy surgery. I know, I'm just talking about kidneys. And, you need hearts, with deceased donors. But as far as living, think about it, because it's a wonderful thing, and you recover and you can live with it. And that's all I have to say. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much. It's struck me that each of the individuals here who are living donors in some ways said they got more out of it than their recipient did. That is amazing. I do want to make sure it's clear that our effort here is to really increase registration, and that means when you go to the RMV, that you check yes. Living donation is wonderful. That being said, we know it's a hero and a unique cause, but we want to make sure that everyone can take an active step, and that's registering as an organ donor. I want to introduce another, again, this is a fantastic community. Valeria is a wonderful member of this community, and in fact is the ambassador to the Revere RMV, and she's going to say a few words. Valeria, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that.
Hello, everyone. Hi, thank you. Thank you, everyone who shared their wonderful story. They all made me tear up a little bit. So when I was 21 years old, I was diagnosed with kidney failure, and immediately for 3 years and 4 months, I was on dialysis. And let me tell you, dialysis is not a fun thing. I saw many patients come and go, and I saw some of them go and never come back. So when my brother, 10 months ago, told me that he would be my kidney donor, it changed my life completely. I was able to finish school. Well, I was in dialysis in school too, but it changed my life. He is doing wonderful. He is amazing. He is my hero. He couldn't be here today, but I'm here to tell that there's one thing that he would never regret, and it was giving his left kidney to me, because I'm his little sister, and he loved me so much. And I want to also encourage everyone to register for donation. Like Matt said, it's more likely for you to need an organ than getting. Sorry, I'm getting all choked up. So please, everyone, I encourage you to sign up to become a donor. If you are not want to take the trip down the RMV, you can also sign up in your iPhone in the Health app. So please consider organ donation. You can save a life. Like many have saved their loved ones' lives in here. And thank you again.
Valeria, thank you so much for sharing that and the wonderful things you are doing here in this your town of Revere. We do have two more things, but I do want to go over a quick few stats. I want to make sure it's clear. There is no age limit to register as an organ donor. Registering as an organ donor is not a medical decision. It's a decision saying, if I am suitable after I pass away to become an organ donor, someone else's lives can be saved. So we have seen that people who get a tad older don't register, and they think they're doing us a favor, saying like, oh, I'm too old. The people who are listed are so sick that even not a perfect organ is going to be valuable and have people extend their lives. I think you were saying, Representative, that your father, your uncle lived 18 more months. I mean, 18 more months means so much. Time, we're here to really celebrate time, and that time is a wonderful gift, and thank you for sharing that. Before we give it back to the mayor, I do want to share one last story, and it is from, I'll even say, just a good friend of mine who we've reconnected from Vermont, who has her own story, and she says, how can I help? And her presence is just fantastic, but Wendy, you're here. If you want to say a few words, we'd love that. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Wendy Magnaggi, and as Matt said, I originally was from Vermont, lived there with my husband and raised our children. In 2007, my husband Art received a heart transplant, and that changed our lives in so many ways. First of all, the donor that gave my husband a new life, and he really did. For 9 years, he was so happy and saw so many wonderful things happen in our family. He saw 4 grandchildren come into our lives, and he was also so passionate about organ donation that he became so involved in it within the state of Vermont and became very good, close friends with Matt. And it just was something that I wanted to continue because Art passed away in 2016. And when he passed away, it was so important to him. And he said to his doctors, and what can I donate? I have to donate something. And he was able to donate 2 corneas. And there were 2 people in Michigan, that can see now. And the donors, it's just so important to put something on your registration and your license and to donate. And our family is just so blessed with the 9 years we had with Art. And I just want to thank all of the donors, the living donors and the donors that are here today. It's just such an important thing. And I want to help continue, as I have very sparingly in the last few years, to help Matt and New England Donor Services continue this. And I just want to thank everyone and the mayor and Matt for letting me be here to speak today, and I look forward to doing a lot more of it too in Art's name. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Wendy, thank you so much. And, these stories can go on. There's so many people touched by this, but I do want to, thank again the mayor for just doing a wonderful job. I believe you were elected fairly recently, right? So we're looking forward to fantastic leadership continuous on, and as our shy man said, for many, 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 many years. But Mayor, thank you so much, and there's almost too much to thank, but the story of your mom's fantastic, so appreciate that. Yeah, thanks again.
Well, as we close this out, I did want to offer a proclamation and talk about, this isn't about me, but one of the great things about today is when you are an elected official, or when you're a mayor, or a school committee woman, or a representative, or a counselor, you get to use your podium for good. And these are the best parts about the job. It's not always easy, but these are the easy days. So being able to use my podium as mayor to recognize organ donation and making sure that we raise that awareness to just check the box is a very simple task for me to do. So I'm proud to be able to do it. So on behalf of the city of Revere, I'm presenting New England Donor Services, honoring Valentine's Day. It's Have a Heart and Give a Heart Day by registering as an organ donor. In the proclamation, whereas there are more than 104,000 Americans with more than 6,300 in New England currently waiting for life-saving organ transplants. And whereas there is over 1 million life-enhancing tissue transplants each year that are made possible by generous donation of corneas, bone, skin, or other tissue. And whereas we can all help save someone's life and benefit up to 50 recipients by signing up to become an organ and tissue donor by enrolling in the Massachusetts Donor Registry when we apply for or renew our driver's license, or by registering online at mass.gov/organ donor or registerme.org. And again, I just wanted to close it out and say thank you so much for being here, but let's make sure we check that box. It's really simple, and I wanted to give this proclamation to Matt and his team. And thank you for being here today.
Awesome. And actually, if you don't mind, I'm going to get some chairs, but we're going to do a quick picture with everyone. So Carrie would love you. Here, hold on. Carrie, you can sit here. Mayor's mom, if you could sit right here, that would be great. And if everyone could step forward. If you're taller, getting back. So we want to have here to here, and I want to make sure, actually, Representative up close. Jim, come on in. Grab something to hold. Where's the mayor? Oh, good, yeah, definitely want you in here. If you can hold this. And actually, yes, if you can get, Mayor, why don't you, where's Carrie? Awesome. If everyone can just get a little closer, we got room here. Come on in, Wendy. A little tighter like us. Perfect. Here you go, Mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone, more the merrier, please. Make sure. Perfect.